And then there's Kobe again. Joseph. He's liking my video. Okay. Okay, and
I had to regulate.
Hello YouTube. So today I'm going to be talking about supplements. As you can see, I have had my fair share of supplements. Now the first thing that I'm going to talk about is pre-workout. So I'm going to put some of these to the side. And I'm going to keep this. Okay, so the reason that I have some in the bigger size and some in the little sample packs is because I've tried all of the ones that are in the sample packs, and now that's as much as I decided to keep investing in on them. I didn't continue to buy the big ones because it just wasn't working for me. So when you're looking for a pre-workout, the one thing that I would suggest doing is finding some of these and trying it out, okay? So let's talk about C4. C4 is probably one of the first and I think most widely known pre-workouts. And for me, when I tried it, I really enjoyed it. But the one thing that I saw with my C4 was my body almost hit a plateau with it. I took it for about 2 weeks, and I know you're supposed to cycle in and off of it, but I feel like my body still got so used to it, and that's why I decided to stop taking it. Now, I also did try the C4 Mass when they came out with the newer formula, and the new formula is pretty good. And the C4 Mass, the reason that I actually bought it and then I realized that I shouldn't be taking it was because most of my diet is based on a low carb diet, and C4 Mass has carbohydrates, okay? So that was a pretty good experience, but like I said, C4 just wasn't for me. The next one that I want to talk about is the Stimulate. This one. This is probably my biggest nightmare. I'm not saying that it's a bad pre-workout, it just personally wasn't a good one for me. When I first tried it, I did my workout and I felt like I was just an Energizer bunny. I was here, I was there, I was everywhere. Yes, that's an awesome pre-workout, but at the end of the day, it made me sick. So Stimulate, if you can do it, pretty hardcore, okay? So then the next one that I tried was this one, the Gold Standard. This one was possibly one of my favorite pre-workouts. It was light, had caffeine, it gave you that nice pump, the nice sweat, everything. But again, my body hit, you know, a plateau with it, and it just, my workouts weren't as exciting and as energized as they once were when I first started taking it. But if you haven't tried this one, I would highly suggest you do. This one's pretty good. And so then, the next one. I wanted to talk about Game Day. So I've tried this, but the reason that I no longer take it is because I'm not a very sweet person when it comes to my pre-workouts. And these are, if you're into sweet, good things, then this is the one for you. They have some that are called like Sour Patch, and these taste just like the Sour Patch Kids. Again, I just can't drink that, but it's an awesome pre-workout. And this one is a fruit punch one, and it's also, again, it tastes just like candy. So if you're into sweet stuff, I would highly suggest trying this one, okay? And the next one. So this one, Mr. Hyde. I love, love, love Mr. Hyde. This was possibly one of the best pre-workouts that I found after I took the Gold Standard, and it gave me an awesome pump, it gave me an awesome sweat. It, you know, after leaving work, it just really helped with having that energy to lift, to, you know, push myself and all that stuff. So yeah, this one is pretty good. So I like to switch around between this product. So whenever I'm kind of giving my body a break from Mr. Hyde, I like to go over and, and do a mixture of these. The PES, Science, High Volume, and the Alphamine. These are thebomb.com. If you haven't tried them, you have not lived. So, this one is the Alphamine, and I love this one because it really, really makes you sweat. If you're like me and you just like to feel that you're actually working hard, this one's pretty good at it because it does help with sweat. And sometimes what I feel this one does is it kind of sucks out the water. If you're retaining water, it does help with lowering your body retention. I go and I just take 1 scoop of this. He likes the high volume too. He's leaving for now. So then again, with this one, excuse the COVID comment, but for this one, the high volume, this one's pretty cool because it does help with building that nice pump when you're at the gym. And what I like to do is I like to use 1 scoop of this and 2 of this, and this is my pre-workout. Now let's say for example, the reason I like this one, let's say that I had a lot of caffeine that morning and I feel that if I'm gonna have a late workout and if I take more caffeine, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. The next thing I wanna talk about is protein. Protein, protein, protein. So I hate protein powder. Protein powder and me are not friends. It makes me sick, and personally, I don't like dairy, so I feel that most of these things taste like dairy, but I found a solution to my problem. With my supplements, for protein, Isopure. I love, love, love this one. It's not too sweet, it doesn't taste like milk, you can't taste the powder, it's just awesome. And now they even have some of the lower calorie ones that are mixed with coconut water, so you get more of your macro and your micronutrients in that. So for protein, if you are into the protein powders, you rock. I personally like to stick to these, and yes, they're a little bit more expensive because I spend $3 on one versus $30, and I believe this has about 80 servings? I'm sorry, $30 and this has 45 servings. And I spend about 50 bucks on 12. But I do like to portion them, so I kind of make it last a little bit longer. I don't drink just the full one in one sitting. And the next thing that I'm gonna talk about is extra supplements that I take and why I take them, and then why I also stop taking them. So for BCAAs, I love, love, love these. I, again, am not huge into sweets, but when I want to get my BCAA fix, I mix this up with water and make some popsicles, and then boom, who needs Halo Top when you got BCAA's popsicles? Really good. So then, also, I used to take electrolytes because my body was kind of having a reaction to not getting enough of them. But then when I switched over to the PES Science products, I noticed that they do have their share of electrolytes, so I no longer take these. But if you don't get your electrolytes, then your muscles will begin to cramp, and that's just not fun because it hurts your workouts and it's not very fun. So this one I wanted to talk about BPI Roxy Super HD. Oh, there's Kobe again. So I used to take this product, but before this product, I used to take the Super HD by Cely, and it used to give me that energy boost that I would need in the mornings before heading to work. And then I found this because I saw that other people were recommending it. And so let me tell you about my experience with this. I used to take one of these, just one in the morning, and this is the part that was really embarrassing. It used to turn my face red, like tomato red. I remember I would go into my classroom and my kids would be like, are you okay? Like, are you embarrassed? And I would always say like, no, it's okay, I'm just really excited to be here. I mean, I wasn't gonna tell them, hey, I took fat burner to come teach you. But, so that was my experience with it. And then I found out that anything with niacin, remember the ingredient, I'll write it down here. Niacin can make your face flush. If there's too much niacin in a product, it's going to give you that reaction. And some people are not, their tolerance for it isn't as sensitive as mine was. But Now if you see that your face is turning red, it could be the niacin in a product. And so for this one, I stopped taking it because of that reason. I didn't want my face to be red, and I didn't really care to do that. But it's okay, because now I drink coffee. So that's good. And so then the next thing. Sweet Sweat. Oh. So, I love Sweet Sweat. I would recommend getting the roll-on, because this one you have to dip in and kind of rub it in the places that you want to get rid of water. But I love it. It helps with water retention, and sometimes as a girl, I feel like we hold a little bit more water. And so I like to, put this around my troubled areas, because it kind of just releases that water that's being held there. And I've noticed that most of my water I hold in my stomach, and nobody wants that. And the last one that I'm going to talk about is my And the next thing I'm going to talk about is the super enzyme. So I take super enzymes because they help with digestion. Now I know you may say, well, I have no trouble going to the restroom. Okay, great. But most girls, when you are in a low carb, high fat diet, or even when you're dieting, your body isn't digesting the food as quickly as it needs to. So I would highly suggest looking into a super enzyme. It just really helps with the digestion. And so I love these because ever since I started taking them after my first prep, I noticed that my body just feels better. So you may want to look into these. Now, currently, just to finish this off, I am currently just taking my aminos by PES Science. I use my coconut Sweet Sweat for cardio. I take my alphamine for my pre-workout and mix it with high volume. And my super enzymes. And of course, protein. So these are all the supplements that I'm currently taking. I would suggest trying any of the ones that I showed you, and I would actually like to hear about your reactions and your experiences with those products, because I do think that when it comes down to supplements, there is not one supplement that that can be applied, the same experience, the same reaction to everyone across the board. I think that a supplement, when it comes to choosing supplements, it should be very personal. You should choose them on what makes you feel good, what gives you what you're looking for, and not just purchasing a product because such and such is using it. Yes, that's a good idea, but learn about what it did to them, and if it does the same thing to you, maybe ask some questions. Why is this happening? Why is this not happening? What can I do? Maybe I need an extra scoop. Maybe I need 2 scoops. Personally, for the high volume, I take 1 scoop, but my husband takes 2. For the alphamine, I take 2. If I take 1, I don't really feel anything. So make sure you do your research and try them out. I'm not saying go out there into the store and just buy everything, because not everybody can afford to do so. Just maybe go to an expo, get some samples and try them out. Meet everybody when you're there at the booths. Ask them, what does this do? What is it good for? What if I take the whole serving? Oh, that was another funny story. I went to a fitness expo and I got one of these samples, and I don't remember the name of the product, but it had a ton of niacin. And like I mentioned earlier, my body's really sensitive to niacin. So I took the whole package because I thought that, hey, 1 serving was the whole package. I took it. My face would not move. I literally felt like it was stiff and stuck. And I thought I was gonna have to go to the ER. But then, so, we looked at the package and we noticed that it was 2 servings in 1. And then we saw that, hey, it had a ton of niacin, so just give it about 12 hours, maybe 6 hours, and it was gone. So I would suggest that. And so again, just share your experiences about the products that you try. Thank you. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you on the next video.